So I want to talk a bit on validation. What is validation? It's basically when you as a young person, you walk your time low, prove him. You're trying to prove your worth and your value in your social groups, your peer groups. So like when I was at Passam, we had these provincial groups and stuff. So we gave us all nicknames, everything, and then, in there, then, depending on your nickname and how long it ran for, then you got your social status kind of same. So the respect was there as well. And because they gave you that name, you had to behave accordingly to the character that name went by. So Dishla, online Kamgo, young people only go, they had to validate their status by acting in a particular way according to that name. And in doing so, sometimes it was, sometimes it'd be good plan, sometimes, the outcome wasn't so good. So I want to talk a bit about, some ways where you can probably reduce the negative effects of negative peer groups. One of these, you missed a talk, self-worth. Self-worth is self-acceptance, very important. You are unique, you matter, you have value as an individual. Papa mama no kariyuna. Ika purpose na you come to this ground. Okay, the other thing is healthy relationships. Healthy relationships versus a toxic relationship. What do I mean by that? Healthy relationship, meaning Muslim. Do you have friends or family that respect you as a person? They respect your boundaries. And in a toxic relationship, these friends of yours, for a teenager, your friends, they might not respect that, you don't want to drink. And they will force you to drink, or they will force you to go, to go out with someone, or they will force you to dress a certain way if you want to be in their group. You young people now, you have phones. I know you can go through and look at all these different examples of what healthy versus toxic relationships are. So I guess in this one, surround yourselves with friends who support you and uplift you rather than drag you down. The next one is personal interests. So personal interest is simply, I just want to talk about, go through, look at your hobbies, look at the things that are interesting to you as a person. Example, I like art. I do accounting, I do business work, but I like art. I draw art. I like music. I like different types of music, and then, because I like music, I go and join the choir. So I get to meet up with people who like the same type of music as I do, and they work in many different industries and fields. At the same time, I like art, so I get to meet different artists. I go online, I get to sell my art, which gives me money. So that gives me like confidence. It boosts my self-esteem. The next one is critical thinking. Basically, can you think for yourself? In the middle of your group, your friends group, you sit down right now, no, all talk, or girls go fight, and plan play girl because of a boyfriend. You might be sitting there going, okay, but why do I have to go and stand there and support them in fighting over this boy who doesn't really benefit me? You see, that's you thinking for yourself. Recognize yourself that is a very positive thing, that you are able to think for yourself and to think critically about the situation and your well-being. So give yourself some credit. If you're a person who thinks like that, well and good. You're able to avoid a lot of dangerous situations when you do that. The next one is communication. I really want to encourage communication with our young people, because when I was in high school, there were some things where like, no, they were like taboo. We couldn't tell the teachers, we couldn't tell our families, we couldn't tell, pastors and all that, because we thought, that's the group thing, and we have to keep the secrets. We have to do all of that. But, along the way, what if you keep that secret, and people go and have a drinking session or drink bucket of pussy, go now one plan, put on in there. So if you're not comfortable, your friends want to go to a drinking session, or line can come up, not okay, maybe like see what I want to, you have every right to, go and tell someone, look, they want to do this and nothing, can you help me? Find an excuse, go do something else. That I'm sorry, I can't be with you, me have to go now. So communicate. Setting boundaries, you have every right to say no. There are a lot of times I've said no, I'm a person who doesn't like getting bullied personally, so when I say no, sometimes yes, people don't like it when I say no, and they get up and react, you know, aggressively. But then it is my right to say no. If I'm saying no, I don't want you to come into my personal space when you're drunk. Stay 1 meter away from me. Don't come near me. It's my right to tell those girls, no, I don't think you have any right to come in and get angry at me simply because you think that this boy likes me. You think, you haven't proven it. I don't, I have a right to say no. When an older person wants to come and, put their hands on me in a bad way, I have every right to say no. I don't like this. I'm going to go and tell an adult. I'm going to go and tell my parents. I don't want you to come and do this to me. You have a right to set your boundaries, protect yourself, and say no. This is my space. Stay out of it. Okay. In terms of positive role models, for me, I think positive role models, people I admire and look up to. Some are people in my community who've never left the town, but I admire their dedication, their consistency, the kindness that they show to poor people in the community. You know, when I look at them, I aspire to be like them. I want to be a better person because I see what they do. In terms of personal growth, invest in activities that contribute to your development and well-being. And I think it's normal. We, as human beings, we want to validate ourselves, and we want to prove, and we want to, show our families, I matter, I have something to say, listen to me, you know, recognize me. And it's normal, we're humans. And, these are some of the healthy ways, the positive ways that you can do it, and it also adds resilience and confidence, as you go through life. Life is not all hearts and roses. There's a lot of, dark times along the way as well. But I hope in some way this video helps you. Thank you.